96.5 The Fox, the new evolution of classic rock. Free beer, hot wings every weekday morning, and just a few weeks away from an absolutely awesome tribute show coming to town. Queen, It's a Kind of Magic. Talked to Giles Taylor yesterday, and today joined by Peter Freestone, who spent years with Freddie Mercury on the road as his assistant. Peter, how are you today?
I'm good.
Now, you spent 11 years with Freddie Mercury on the road with him. Why was it important for you to get involved with It's a Kind of Magic?
Well, they asked me if I would sort of be there to help make it the real thing. Having been, apparently someone worked it out, I was around for nearly 300 Queen shows in the day. So I would have an idea of the right placing, the right, who was where, how to do, how to be Queen. And I was very interested that a production company wanted to be real. So I was very happy to come aboard. I mean, I'm only here for the fine detail. There's a great team together to put the whole show together. So, they've got good musicians, they've got someone directing, and I'm just there just to dot the I's and cross the T's.
So what is it about this show in particular that makes it the best Queen tribute show out there?
Because they really want it to be like the real thing. There are many, I've seen so many different shows. There's some very good ones out there. There are some very good ones. But, while this isn't it's not an exact copy of any Queen show as such. It's not the Wembley show. It's not the Milton Keynes show. It's not a show that people would have seen. It's a combination of great songs, some of the greatest hits, and some of the older songs, which I love. I love the idea that they're not just sort of playing the greatest hits. They're giving people a chance to hear some songs that they wouldn't have heard for a while. And it's just that, as I say, they want it to be real. The musicians want it to be real. I saw them rehearsing yesterday, and it really comes across so well. It's sort of... the hairs on the back of my neck stood up for a little bit yesterday. It was exciting.
I was going to ask, I know that you've had the chance to see them perform, so how close is it to the real thing?
Over the next few days, we'll all be together, putting our heads together, coming up with, all the rightness of it. I think people will be surprised. I am sure, I could almost guarantee that there will be people who will come to see this show who did see Queen performing with Freddie, who will come away thinking, I remember when Freddie did that, when Queen did that in the show I saw. And that's what we're aiming for, that it will bring back some great memories for people. And also for the young ones who've never had the chance to see Freddie performing with Queen, then they can understand what us old people keep going on about.
So the show is coming to town July 28th, the Bell Mayhew Auditorium. Tickets are on sale right now, joined by Peter Freestone, who has his hand in the production of It's a Kind of Magic, the big Queen tribute show. That will be here on July 28th. Now, I think there are probably people out there that hear that there's a Queen tribute show coming to town, but they say, well, Queen is still out on the road. They're still out there performing, but with a different lead singer.
Yeah.
How do you feel about them still going out on the road performing these songs with
I think
now?
It's absolutely wonderful. I think it's wonderful. I haven't had a chance to see them on this tour because I was in Europe, but I saw them with Queen and Adam Lambert in Poland a couple of years ago, and it's absolutely wonderful to see Brian and Roger on stage. It's where they were always meant to be, For me, Queen was always a live band. They were a live rock band. That's where they were in their element. They created some amazing music in the studios, but when they were recording it, they always had live performance in mind. And, the thing is, there's not that many bands, I think. Okay, there's been a lot of bands with all the effects and with everything else, but the way with Queen, they did everything with the lighting, the costumes, the sound. Of course, there were pyrotechnics where they were needed and where they were permitted. But, they were always a show band. They were a big show band. And to have them, to to have those guys on stage still where they belong, I think is great. I think it's wonderful. And as they even say in interviews and things, it's not recreating what they did with Freddie, because that never can be. You know, Freddie is not around anymore. But the difference, well, of course, they are the originals, or 50% of the original Queen. What we're doing is just giving people an idea of what it was like with Freddie. Queen, the Queen Plus, as it is now, I think, for me, it's wonderful that they are there. They are showing a new generation of people what the big shows were really like. What we can do on a smaller scale is show people and remind people of what Queen was like with Freddie.
Again, it's going to be in town July 28th, Bell Mayhews Auditorium. Queen, It's a Kind of Magic, starring Giles Taylor. Now, Peter, you spent 11 years with Freddie as his assistant, going everywhere with him. What is your best memory of your time with Freddie?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, we haven't got 11 years, have we? I suppose, really, for me, the perfect image of Freddie is at home laughing, because it's something that you saw him do in interviews, but he always put his hand up to his mouth or used his top lip to cover his teeth because he hated them. But he refused to do anything about it in case it changed the voice. But I've got some amazing images in my brain of just him at home, throwing his head back and laughing, totally unself-conscious. He had an amazing sense of humor. He loved to laugh. And that's what always sticks with me.
And what's one thing that you would want people to maybe know about Freddie that they may not have seen in interviews or seen on stage, or something maybe they don't know about him that maybe only you knew?
I don't think there's anything that only I knew, but there's something that a sort of fairly small group of people knew. Was that Freddie was the best friend anybody could have. If he was a friend of yours, he would do anything for you. He would, if there was problems, he would be there to help. If there were good times, he would be there to smile and laugh. He really, really was the best friend a person could have.
Well, we are looking forward to seeing him, to an extent, back on stage July 28th, Bell Mayhews Auditorium. Queen, It's a Kind of Magic, coming to town. Peter Freestone, Freddie Mercury's assistant for many, many years, helping put this show together. Peter, thank you so much for taking the time, and we can't wait for the show on the 28th.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.